Okay guys, we can discuss the concept water cycle. As we discussed in the previous video, here water is existed in all three forms. It is in the form of liquid in ocean and other water bodies. It is in the form of solid, that is a glacier on the top of the mountains and hills. Water is still there in the form of water vapor, that is the gaseous form of water, but that is not visible for us, but also still it is present in the atmosphere. Here, due to the sun, water from water bodies evaporates to form water vapor and rises up. It condenses to form clouds through sublimation process. What do you mean by sublimation? Sublimation is a process of conversion of solid state into gaseous state without turning into liquid state. Here we have already said water is in the solid state in the form of glacier. So water vapor from glacier directly evaporates and rises up and condenses to form clouds. Then vegetative cover also releases water vapor through the process of transpiration. Actually, what do you mean by transpiration? Transpiration is the process of loss of water vapor from plants, especially through the pores of leaf. That process is called transpiration. Here, through the transpiration process, water vapor is released in the atmosphere and condensed to form clouds. Then again the clouds are condensed to form rain. When it is rain, the water is collected in the water bodies. A part of it is absorbed by the surface soil and a part of it is absorbed by the plants, and some parts sweep down to form a part of underground water, and some parts directly condense to form snow and is collected and deposited over the mountains and peaks. Then again the evaporation takes place. Again the water is converted to water vapor and rises up. Again the cloud formation occurs. Clouds are condensed to form rain. Again the rainwater is collected in the water bodies. Again it is absorbed by the plants. Some part is absorbed by the surface soil. Some part is collected to become a part of groundwater. So the cycle will go on. Actually this concept is called the water cycle. So here we can say there is a circulation of water over land, atmosphere and oceans. We can see that water is converted into different forms, and there exists a circulation of water in oceans, land and atmosphere. This is called the water vapor. Through this process, the quantity of water is balanced in the earth. Actually, water cycle is very important for living things. Water cycle is needed for living things in many ways. We can discuss one by one. Water cycle is essential for living organism to maintain biological water balance. That means if we want to keep our body healthy, we need water. Water is needed for various purposes like what we will say absorption of food, digestion process and circulation of blood, etc. Second one, for the survival of human, water is needed. We know we the human beings are totally dependent on water. Without water we cannot live our life. Water is needed for human beings for various purposes like drinking, then industrial purpose, agriculture purpose, etc. Third one, domestic and industrial use. Domestic use include household uses like cooking food, drinking, washing clothes, washing vehicle, watering plants, etc. Industrial use means water is being used as a coolant, used as a purifier, It is also used for freezing purpose in various industries. So water is essential for all the living things for their survival. Now we can discuss about the next part of natural environment, that is biological environment. Biosphere constitutes biological environment. What is biosphere? Biosphere is a narrow zone of contact between land, water and air where life form exists. It is otherwise called a living world. Why biosphere is called living world? Because it is a zone of all the living beings, from small microorganisms to very large animals. So it is called living world. Everything in the biosphere is interconnected. See children, we have already discussed that biosphere is a narrow zone of contact between land, air and water. That means in all these three areas, wherever the life is present, we can include those living things in the zone of biosphere. On the land, we can see living things. We can see both plants and animals. In the water also, we can see many living things like fishes, watery snakes, watery plants and other living things. In the air, even if those are not visible for us also, still many living things are there in the form of microorganisms, bacteria, virus, etc. So we can say that all these are interdependent. How we can say that these are all interdependent? We can discuss this concept with the help of a diagram. See children, in this diagram, forest, actually forest, in forest we can see many living and non-living things. We can discuss how forest is beneficial for both plants and animals. Here, forests provide a shelter, a living home for millions of plants and animals. At the same time, the forest provide many valuable products for human beings also. It provides honey, timber, resin, nuts, medicine, etc. for human beings. Here we can say that plants, animals and human beings, they directly depend forest for various purposes. There exists an interrelationship between human beings, plants and animals. How? Let us see. Here, animals depend on plants for their food, whereas the plants depend on animals and human beings for carbon dioxide and humus. Human being depends plants and animals for food, milk, meat, wool, etc. Here we can say that there is a mutual relationship exists between all the living things. These living things not only depend on other living things, but they depend on non-living things also. We can discuss how. See here, plants, they depends human beings and animals for carbon dioxide and humus. At the same time, they are depending other non-living things also. For example, soil. Without soil, plants cannot live. Soil is a non-living thing. Without air, plants cannot survive. Air is a non-living thing. Without sunlight, plants cannot live. Sunlight is a non-living thing. Here we can see human beings. For food, human beings depends plants. Human beings not only needed plants, they needed other non-living things like water, air, etc. Same thing we can see in the animals also. Animals, they need oxygen from plants, food from plants. But they need other non-living things also like water, air, comfortable climate, etc. Here we can say that all the living things and non-living things depend on each other for their survival. Without one, another one cannot exist. Everything should be there. Only then there will be a balance. Through this, we can enter into a new concept, that is ecosystem. What is ecosystem? Ecosystem is a natural environment where all living things and non-living things depend on each other for their survival. We can say some of the example for ecosystem. We can say forest is a good ecosystem. Oceanic areas, that is also a good ecosystem. Desert, ponds, etc. Okay guys, we can go to the end of this video. What we have discussed in this video, we have discussed about types of environment, different components of environment, and different types of physical environment. See, here are some questions. Try to solve these questions if you can. The first question is, define the term environment. Second question, classify environment. Third one, what is ecosystem? Fourth one, draw a neat diagram to show water cycle. Okay children, see you in the next video. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye. Have a good day.